Hey everybody, Aaron Bishop here on behalf of the Patterns of Life Bible. In the book of Numbers, we read several stories. They begin around chapter 11 and they continue through around chapter 22. And throughout these stories, there's some really interesting things that go on. In fact, did you know that one of the stories in the book of Numbers made it into this movie, The Ten Commandments, with Charlton Heston? It's the story of the rebellion of Korah. The rebellion of Korah is actually the central pericope of the book of Numbers, as Korah and a band of followers stand up and challenge the leadership of Israel, not just Moses, but the priesthood as well. Well, after Korah is dealt with, God decides to set up an example to show and to demonstrate who he has chosen to be his anointed high priest, to make it absolutely clear in the eyes of everyone so that there not be any further rebellions. And we read of this story in pericope number 27 of the book of Numbers. In a normal Bible, this is Numbers chapter 17, verse 1 through 13. It's often called the story of Aaron's rod blossoming, or the blossoming of the rods, or something along those lines, but it is really the story of God demonstrating who he has chosen to be the leaders in Israel. Now, everybody in Israel already knows at this point Moses was chosen as the leader. But there's this thought running through the people that maybe Aaron's choice as the high priest is a bit of nepotism, that it's just family favoritism that's allowing this to happen. And so God creates a test to demonstrate his choice of Aaron, and it begins with a command. God speaks to Moses and saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, take the rods of the heads of every one of the tribes of Israel, and take Aaron's rod and gather them all together. And write the name of the head of the house on that rod, on that staff." In the ancient Near East, the staff of the leader, that was their mark of office, very similar to a scepter for a king. It's a mark of office, it's a mark of authority and leadership. So the heads of each of the 12 tribes would have had a staff, and it would have been recognizable as theirs. And likely it would have been passed from father to son or from leader to leader throughout the years as the staff that signified the leader of this tribe. So not only are they taking this staff from the tribe, they're putting the name of the one who currently holds that position onto the staff. And in A prime, it closes with a command of the Lord as well. And in A prime, we read of the command of the Lord as well. Again, it's a command to bring a staff before the Ark of the Covenant, or the Ark of the Testimony as it's called. This time, it's only one staff, the one staff of the one chosen leader of the priesthood. In B and B prime, they're told what to do with the staffs. In B, they shall bring the staffs into the tabernacle before the testimony, before the Ark of the Covenant, where God meets with Moses. And in B prime is the command to bring Aaron's rod back into the tabernacle after it has budded, after it has blossomed with almond blossoms, as the sign of God's favor in him as the chosen leader. In C, it's the staves of the leaders that's in focus here. They are to bring them before Moses, and God is going to use these staves to put to rest the murmurings of the people of Israel against his chosen leadership. He's going to do something miraculous with these staves. So he takes all of the 12 staves plus Aaron's staff and puts them into the tabernacle. And in C prime, Moses takes those same staves that have been in the tabernacle overnight and brings them out to show them to the people. So we have the staves entering into the tabernacle and the staves exiting the tabernacle so that the people can see them. And in D, we find out what happens to the staves. Aaron's staff is the only one that buds and blossoms and yields actual ripe almonds. God demonstrated by bringing to life this dead branch that he's going to use Aaron to bring life to this dead branch of Israel. That he's going to use Aaron, the high priesthood, to bring life to the dead branch of the world, this dead branch of humanity. He's going to bring life to people. And in the Old Testament, this was the way of God's bringing life into the world of death. He used his priesthood, he used the temple, he used the tabernacle for this purpose. And in the New Testament, things then change a little bit, as there's now a new high priest that's bringing life to the world. A new high priest that takes things of death and infuses them with life. The chosen leader of Israel, the chosen king of the world. None other than Jesus the Messiah.